But like you just said, if you don't have that dude slinging it around the room, I don't care who you are, you can't win. Do you think they're happy where they are today?
Well, I think they clearly are looking at, they can't help, they can't look, whatever, at the pretty girl across the room. Come on. They see this talent. So they see these talented quarterbacks who are able to always have you in the game, and they're going to have you in the dance or near the dance every year.
As we each and every single Monday do, I'm going to start that off with Garry Cobb, our friend here. And I'm going to ask Garry Cobb this question. Gary, there's rumors going around now that Washington has offered up Chase Young, a first-round draft choice and a third-rounder, to try to get him into Washington. And I immediately got pushback back on my Twitter page, and I threw this back at people. I'm not buying the 22 accusations because the NFL paid him all year long. Do you know that, Gary, he was active every single game of the year? He wasn't put on any exempt list. And to me, I believe, like I told you a couple times ago, I think they're going to retroactive it. And I think they're going to say that was a suspension. Maybe they'll drop a couple more games or 3 games going in to the 2020 year. I don't think, if it's me, that I'm going to have any problems going after Deshaun Watson in this offseason. And I think that's why Washington, like 15 other teams, have already started the inquiring of going after Deshaun Watson. Don't you think this whole story with him is fishy on how they handled it?
Well, I know a few things about it. First of all, that, hasn't been arrested. Hasn't been charged. Come on. This is the legal system. This got nothing to do with the NFL. If they got something on him, he's going to be charged. He's going to be prosecuted. Come on, especially with just the atmosphere in the country. If you got somebody who violates women, come on, they're going after him. It's so public.
A black man in the South, too. Yeah. Like you said, let's take the NFL out of this. You're in Houston, Texas. 22 women, an African-American athlete, high profile.
That's right. Big money, making big money too.
And by the way, get this, March 1st, this is why this guy, in my opinion, will be dealt before March 1st. Do you know after March 1st, the Texans are on the hook for $35 million guaranteed? His contract, that escalator kicks in this year. Uh-huh. He's $35 million. This is why I say teams are lining up right now. Should the Eagles be one of those teams?
Now I also know that he really, from what I hear, he regrets that he didn't just put everything out there. You know what I mean? Just expose everything. Because, see, some of the things I've exposed, because clearly some of this, it just doesn't pass the muster test.
No, it's a money grab.
It's a money grab. Yeah, folks jumping in line trying to go after that money, and that's part of this. Now, has he done anything wrong? Whatever is, probably you could look at definitely gotten involved with something, but it's not criminal, clearly, or he would be prosecuted because they've been able to look at it. It's been so public. A DA is going to prosecute this type of a crime.
But Gary, wouldn't this have given the Texans the ability to go like this? Watch, this guy's a piece of shit. He look what he's been. They haven't said a word, which means they want to keep that value high.
That's right.
To move them, and the league hasn't even commented. That's why, to me, until somebody shows me that this guy here is in some sort of legal issues where he's going to be doing time or suspended or whatever, I'm going after this guy with every draft choice I have.
And especially you look at the climate of the league. I was out there at the Super Bowl. Come on. Everybody's talking about quarterback, because that's what the league is now, clearly, because they're going to protect the quarterback. The quarterbacks also, you got some dynamic talents that have been showed off. if you can't play on that level and you can't compete on that level, it's going to be hard to go get that trophy that you're after, you know? So it's going to be quarterbacks. It's going to be about getting that quarterback. Of course, people are going to be looking for pass rushers to get to the quarterback. That's the game. This is a passing game. It's not as much of a running game as it was in the past. This is a passing game. So you get the elite receivers, elite quarterbacks. That's what this game is about. And
Garry, let me throw
that's
this
why
at you here.
He's one of the few that you have any chance of going after. All these other guys
and he
are
would
up.
and he would control the NFC East. You know, let me ask you this here, okay? As we're getting ready for free agency on March 1st and the April draft here today, and I brought this up a couple minutes ago. Do you think Howie is happy with the current quarterback position, or do you think he wants to upgrade it? And I threw this out before you answer. I said, you know what he gets with this? If he's okay with where they are, he's cheap. You could build a team, free agency. You could be a player in free agency in March because you only owe the guy $3 million over the next 3 years. I mean, you don't owe him anything. You could build your team like they did in Seattle and like they did in New England when Brady was a 6th-rounder. He affords the Eagles that opportunity.
Yes.
But like you just said, if you don't have that dude slinging it around the room, I don't care who you are. You can't win. Do you think they're happy where they are today?
Well, I think they clearly are looking at, they can't help, they can't look, whatever, at the pretty girl across the room. Come on. They see this talent. So they see these talented quarterbacks who are able to always have you in the game, and they're going to have you in the dance or near the dance every year. Those guys. And the league is being run by those type of quarterbacks. That's what this game is about. But I will say this about Jalen Hurts, which really gives them the chance to go out and look. Jalen Hurts is tough-skinned, meaning they could go out, look at these other guys, looking, is there opportunity? But Jalen Hurts has already been in this type of situation where he was in a competition with another quarterback on his team. And he's not going to fall apart. He's going to continue working and be the best player he's going to be. So that's why they can do this. They know that Jalen Hurts is working on his game, and he knows he's got to take his game up a few levels. He's got to, with regards to accuracy, being able to read things quicker and all that. He's got to work on his game. So they can go over there and go after this marquee quarterback and not feel like it's going to just destroy him, because it's not.
You know what, though, Garry? You bring
Yeah.
a great point up, man.
Yeah.
You bring a great point because, in this whole process, the process is going to build this kid's resolve, too. I mean, you could be sitting here and have a dual-track program. Let's look for a guy. And in that process, here he is maybe inching up, getting better and better, and plus showing his leadership capabilities and his leadership qualities. And maybe it plateaus, and maybe it stays there. But in that process, you could be building your team up. You could be identifying the future of your team at that position. So maybe in the end, Garry, maybe they are in the best of both worlds here.
I think this is clearly what they're doing. They're going to go out. They're going to look. They're going to, take a look at the people that are available. And clearly Deshaun Watson, because of the situation, hey, he's one of the few marquee guys that's available. These other guys, it take you 20 years to get them. So they're going to look into it. They got to do their homework. At the same time, you got Jalen over here working on his game. And he's not disturbed by this. So in a way, you got a guy who's able to handle Philadelphia, because, some guys come in and because they get criticized, right there, they're falling apart. I mean, look at Carson Wentz. This guy has gotten the criticism, and he's really gotten away from his game, And so that's not going to happen to Jalen Hurts. He's not that kind of kid, and that's why he can deal with this. But clearly, the Eagles, they wouldn't be doing their job if they didn't look and see, can they get a hold of one of the marquee talents at the quarterback position? At the same time, they've got Jalen working, trying to improve his game. certain things he can do, certain things he's got to do better. He knows that. I mean, he's going to be serious about this. He knows he's got to do better in certain aspects of his game. And the kid's going to work. That's why I have all the respect in the world for him. He's a tough kid that will be over there working. At the same time, they don't give apologies for you trying to improve your team. You don't have to apologize for trying to put the best team. You're trying to win a championship. You know, you shouldn't have to apologize. So the different people that say the Eagles shouldn't do that, listen, they don't give you a pat on the hand. They're not giving you that trophy because you got a nice guy over there. Nah.
Hey, you're drafted. You're drafted, Gary. People don't realize this. The day you're drafted is the day they're starting to find somebody better than you.
Come on. This is the real world. You know, and when they let you go, they bring you in there. Hey, you know, and how do I know? Come on. They bring you in there. Hey, we love you. Hey, if you're ever in the area, stop by. Love to see you and your family. Come on by.
Here's your final check, and here's your plane ticket. See you later.
Hey, stay in touch. Give us a call if you're in the area. No, hey, they're doing their job. They're doing their job. And that's what the Eagles are doing. And so that's why it's going to be interesting how this whole thing shakes out.
I'm going to throw some quarterbacks at you, and I want you to give me your opinion of them.
Okay.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's got too many issues. I mean, he's a guy that makes too many mistakes, can't get it done under pressure. He's going to turn the ball over. You can't really rely on him to carry your team through the air. He's the kind of guy you got to have a marquee running game and a good defense if you're going to win with him.
Russell Wilson.
I think Russell Wilson is he's a great quarterback. You know, I want to see him come back from this year to see if he's still got that part of his game. But, you know, he pretty much can do everything. He's a winner. And he's also a guy that can make the big throw. He's not going to be intimidated by big games. I think he's a guy with the right people. He can win the whole thing for you, I think.
You think he's got enough left that it would be warranted to give 2 first-rounders up for him?
I don't think the Eagles should be going after him. It's just silly for the Eagles to go after him. They don't have all the pieces in place. You know, he's the kind of guy when you got all the pieces there, you go for him. Now
they need a running game.
Yeah, you got to have. Come on, they need all the other pieces. I mean, who's he throwing the ball to? You don't have the. You got one receiver that's developing. You got a tight end. You don't have the pieces in place for him to throw the ball and really utilize his talent like you're going to win a title, you know. So I don't see that you go out and get him. I mean, maybe you got 4 or 5 years to do it, but 2 or 3 years are already burned up because you're not there yet.
You think he stays in Seattle?
I could see him going somewhere else. Because when you put his wife in there as well, you know, they're going to look for the bright lights somewhere. And maybe they don't emphasize the football as much where if they were to go somewhere like New York or somewhere like that. But I don't see them coming to Philly. I think you're probably going to end up staying put.
You bring a point up, too. They don't have the assets around the team right now to attract one of these guys.
No.
So do you think that during free agency, Howie has to dress the offense up more? Because to me, the Eagles, and I was talking to Barrett Brooks about this morning, I said that the Eagles, if I look at Devontae Smith, on a good team, he's a 2. Okay? He's a 2 somewhere.
Right now,
he's a 2.
Yeah.
Could he be absolute? Just like with CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper in Dallas. When CeeDee went in there, he was a 2, and then Amari got passed by him, and that's how the thing is handed off. So
that's right.
For you to be able to get one of these big-time quarterbacks, don't you think you have to dress the offense up through free agency if you want to try to get
the pieces? You got to go get another quality receiver, and he's going to be your number 1 for a while. See, you got to go out if you can find them. Now, I don't know if they're going to find that guy and be willing to give all it's going to take. So
how about Devontae Adams? Would you make a run at him?
No.
See, I think the Packers are probably going to on March 8th. I think they're probably going to franchise tag him.
Okay,
well, I think they'll tag him because they still got years on Rodgers' deal.
Yeah.
So they'll probably, but to me, if you're the Eagles, you have the assets to go. Can you? Okay, look, if I
Well,
put
see, but
Devontae,
if you go get him, man, if you don't get Rodgers, if you don't get the quarterback, then you go out because you're gonna have to give up a lot for him, boy. You're gonna need.
No, you're gonna give 2 ones up for him.
Yeah, and you know, if you're gonna do that, do you have the quarterback that's gonna get the maximum? You got this marquee receiver. You know, are you going to be able to get enough out of that in the passing attack? See, that's where I think they'll probably wind up getting a second tier wide receiver.
How about this though? But Gary, if you put Devontae Adams on your team, doesn't that make the other elite quarterbacks like this? Even Rodgers maybe go like this. Shit, man. They got the best receiver in the NFL. The only thing they need is a sharpshooter.
But
I'll go in there, and I mean, if you put Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams
but
on
do you
the
have
Eagles,
enough
you're winning the East.
Okay, but do you have enough to bring both of them here?
Three ones and 11 draft picks and cap space? I don't know. Maybe you do.
You think that? So basically, you're just going to say, look, here are these 11 picks.
Like the Rams.
You could look at it that way. You could look at it that way. If you're going to do that,
the Rams would do it.
Now you could, but you got to be thinking though. Hey, we're going for the whole bonanza, and we're going all in.
Isn't that what we're doing? That's what we're doing here. I'm not trying to build a swing set.
That's right.
I'm trying to build.
Hey,
look, because you know what, Gary, you and I talked about this last week. The Rams would push their chips in, wouldn't they?
They did. They pushed them all to the center of the table, you know, and that's what you be doing now. You know what? If you're going to do that, then do it. You know, then you got to go all the way, because if you go after Adams and you're going after Rodgers, you're bringing them in town, then you got to go for it, because you are definitely going for it. Now you got the running game, you got that offensive line.
Yep. You're number one in the league in rushing.
Yep. And then you got to do what you can with your defense and everything. But you basically would say, with your offense, we need you to carry us. We need you to carry us. And you guys got to be great. We brought you in here because you're great. We need you to be great. And that's what you would be doing.
Gary. If I had Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, that old line, and if Jalen can't get it done, doesn't that answer the question for you right there that he's not the – you don't need any more hypothesis on whether or not, well, maybe if we put guys – you did put guys around him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you bring a Tom Brady in, or you look at what Matthew Stafford is not a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's a really good quarterback.
That's right.
But he won a Super Bowl on a really good team.
That's right. Well, the last 2 years they've done it. So, you know, you had GMs went out and got quarterbacks, and they got rings. And that's what it's about. It's about rings. It's not about, getting people patting you on the back. It's about getting rings. And, you know, they got rings last 2 years. People went out, made the moves, aggressively went after the quarterback. Quarterback got it done.
How about this one here? Let's end with this one here. I opened the show out with this, and I was talking to Marcellus Wiley earlier in the morning, and I said, you know, this Brian Flores story is weird because now he goes to Pittsburgh where the, Rooney Rule started. He goes to the only black coach in the league. And I thought you're trying to create more jobs, more opportunities. Are you wishing that Mike Tomlin does bad? Anyway, does it bother you, Gary, that no other black coach, Marvin Lewis, Tony Dungy, Eric Bieniemy, nobody jumped on the lawsuit that Brian Flores threw out there? No coach said anything.
I think those guys are basically saying, or
are they scared of the league?
That's they don't want to. They want to keep their the door open. They want to keep the door open.
And I understand that.
I know that in the background, they're definitely. I think there's definitely disappointment that the situation is as it is, without a doubt. But I don't think that they want that door closed to them. That's why you haven't heard a lot from them. And that's really why, they really had the behavior that they've had now, because it's been very quiet.
It really has. All right,
Yep.
Gary, I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you
All
so
righty.
much, my friend. We'll catch you next week.
All right. Have a good one.
You got it. That's my friend Garry Cobb. I see a lot of you guys' thoughts. Hugh Jackson, I never bought what Hugh said, though. I never did. I didn't believe Hugh. And I mean, look, I get the whole Brian Flores thing, man, and the other coaches not wanting to step in there. But guys, I brought that up with Davante Adams for a reason with Gary. If you put Davante Adams on your football team, isn't that the flypaper that attracts the big-time quarterback? Hit the like button. We'll hit on that again. A lot of topics to hit to. We'll get to all your spins. Keep it right here on the National Football Show.